And the legislature passed 9 bills addressing the needs of veterans. Among the measures is one that underscores a federal law making it illegal for employers to discriminate against veterans based on their status as a veteran. The new law has gotten widespread support, but as Sarah Whitmire reports, some question how it will be enforced.
Jared Jordan was 22 years old. College hadn't really worked out, and the only jobs he could land were in retail.
A friend of mine that I'd known for a pretty good many years, he was already in the military and kept telling me about the benefits and finally we sat down one day and he signed me up and I joined in and haven't looked back.
Jordan was sent to Iraq, assigned to the 90th Aviation Support Battalion, overseeing maintenance on helicopters. Jordan calls his 4 years in the Army a great experience. He says he got to see a lot, meet a lot of great people, and learn a lot. In 2012, he came back to Indiana.
I'd like to think I adjusted a little bit better than some, but it took time. It wasn't something I could just come back in and flip the switch and all right, now I'm back to being Joe Civilian.
Jordan saw a counselor and got treatment for what he calls mild PTSD. Jordan also enrolled at Indiana University and began work on his kinesiology degree. And during that time, he tried to find a few jobs.
No one's been rude or anything like that to my face. I usually get the email or the letter in the mail, 2 or 3 weeks afterward, thanks for your application, but at this time we don't require your services, or whatever vernacular they choose to describe it in.
Yet they have some experiences that are unique to them with areas of responsibility that you have a 25-year-old that doesn't have a college degree but was in charge of 45 people under combat conditions.
Ultimately, Jordan decided to enter the reserves and take a job with his unit in Kentucky. Jim Brown sees a lot of cases like Jordan's. There are about 240,000 veterans in Indiana's workforce, but there are about 13,000 who are unemployed, and at least that many, if not double, Brown says, who are underemployed. The VA works to connect veterans with skills training so they can get jobs after they leave the military.
What we're seeing with them is that they are obviously very highly skilled individuals and very highly in areas that employers are looking for. They understand how to show up on time and in the right uniform, and that's something that employers are looking for right now. So now we're just matching up those veterans with employers.
What the new law does is hold employers accountable. They're not allowed to dismiss a veteran from consideration for a position simply because of that person's military background.
I think when you couple the time constraint, the perceived commitment constraint, and then the things like those of us that are returning combat veterans, that the PTSD stigma, that I think that it puts a barrier up, that we go in and yes, we've got all these great skills and we've got all this great leadership experience and we can operate in environments of stress that most people can't even imagine.
The new law applies not only to the armed forces, but also members of the National Guard and the reserves.
I'm glad that they're passing the legislation. I hope it works, but I kind of want to know the how behind it, and that's what I haven't really heard much of. Unless they come out and directly tell you that you're being discriminated against or that you're not being hired because of your status as a veteran, I kind of neglect to see how they can actually enforce it.
The Indiana Civil Rights Commission is charged with investigating alleged complaints and with enforcing the new law. If the agency determines an employer did discriminate against a veteran, the veteran can be placed in the position which they applied to and were denied.
Sarah Whitmire joins us now for more on this story. I think, Sarah, we just heard that's the question, the how. will this be enforced? Does the state have any more plans to try and implement this a little bit better?
There's not a lot of information on how it would be implemented, but part of it falls on employers. They're required to let applicants know of this new law. And then if a veteran goes through the interview process and thinks they've been discriminated against, then they can file that complaint with the Indiana Civil Rights Commission, who can then launch an investigation. It's important to note they have to do that within the guidelines of the federal law, because there is a federal law, the Uniform Services Employment and Reemployment Act. So the state law basically just mirrors that federal law.
So then what should that job applicant do if they feel like that they've been discriminated against?
Right, so they contact the Indiana Civil Rights Commission, and then if they determine there's been a problem, then they can go in actually, and if they decide that there's been this violation, then they can fine the employer. Even they can reward damages to the veteran, and like we mentioned earlier, they can also put that veteran in the position for which he applied.
Now, is there a certain age group that this affects more than another?
Yeah, we don't have numbers on discrimination, but for unemployment numbers, it affects those post 9/11 veterans, those 18 to 24-year-olds who are coming back who maybe left high school early, left college early, and now they're competing against all of these folks who are trying to get entry-level jobs, and they're having a hard time, as many as 20%.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.